I've spent the last 3 months studying 5,000 years of human history to find the best business models to start in 2024. And each of these business models has a proven potential to make you an extra $1,000, $10,000, or even $100,000 per month. And I'm not BSing you, this is all legit. Just like this business model that generated me $158,000 in the last 30 days alone. But the craziest part is that you don't need any fancy degrees, work experience, or a genius IQ to get started in the business models that I'm about to show you. Whether you're Gen Z, a teenager, a millennial, or a baby boomer, these business models will work for all of you. These business models will work anywhere on planet Earth, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. The first business model that I'm going to talk about has made millions of people throughout history very, very wealthy. It requires $0 to start. Business model number one, full service marketing. Now, we've all heard the term marketing, but what is it and what does it actually mean? It's the art of telling people about things that they might like to buy or use. Marketing is an ancient business. It was born out of competition. The first ever example of this came from ancient China, where candy makers would play a bamboo flute to attract customers, which is crazy because we still do this to this day with ice cream trucks. The earliest known advertisement comes from a needle producer 5,000 years ago in China. The message was very simple. We sell high quality needles you can use right now. Then the earliest official ad agency was started in 1841 by Volney Palmer. They started running ads in newspapers. So in the 1870s, modern full service marketing agencies started to form. Here are the common services they offered. But over 100 years ago, there was an explosion in guides on how to build an agency. Yes, even your great grandparents were building agencies. Now everyone's starting an agency. These businesses are so easy to start because they require almost no money. All you need is to file some papers and you have a business. But there are some problems. In 2014, there were 346,000 marketing agencies worldwide. And in 2024, there's even more. There's 460,000. This is why your inbox is full of half-assed sales pitches. Now, agencies need two things: clients and employees. And when you actually get clients, you need to hire people. Don't waste your time when someone else can do the work for you. And here's my advice. If you don't like people, then don't start an agency. Give the hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars you could have made to somebody else. Business model number two, copywriting. But what the heck does it mean? Writing words that make people want to buy stuff. Simple as that sounds, professionals get paid big bucks to write words that sell. Now, the first instance of copywriting appeared in wanted posters 5,000 years ago. Now, the first wanted poster was made for someone named the Shem of Papyrus. Now, Shem was a slave who got away from a local tailor. This is how copywriting actually started, by placing a price on someone else's head. Copywriting is used everywhere today. Emails, blogs, scripts, newsletters, and media copy. Now, professional copywriters, especially those that specialize in YouTube ad copy or Facebook ad copy, can literally earn 6 to 7 figures a year. These are people that write ad scripts that can persuade the viewer to purchase a product or a service. Now, if copywriting sounds good to you, there's a much better business model to potentially start with. Business model number three, drop shipping. But what the heck does that actually mean? I mean, what are you dropping and what are you shipping in drop shipping, right? You are a middleman. That's it. You sell stuff that you don't own and you get it shipped right to the customer. That sounds pretty simple, right? Now, if we were living in ancient times and I wanted something of yours, there are two ways I could get it. Number one, I could steal it, or number two, I could give you something for it. But the concept of money, it wasn't invented yet. In fact, metal coins were only invented just a few thousand years ago. But what did we do for thousands of years before that? Well, we traded. We gave things to each other for other things. So you have something shiny that I want, so I give you something shiny that you want. That could be shells, pearls, animal pelts, tools and services were all that we had until eventually gold bars were introduced as a medium of exchange in Egypt. Now, things are much easier now. For example, you can go to eBay, find something you think someone else will pay more money for, buy it, then go find that person and charge more money for it. Now, doing all that will make you money, yes, but it will take years of effort to get to $10,000 a month with that approach. Don't expect a Bugatti to be parked outside your house if you're gonna go down this business model. Now, let's say you don't want boxes of random your garage. There's a way to make money selling stuff and not owning any of it. And this is the side hustle I was referring to earlier called drop shipping. Works like this. You put a product, take this pen for example, on your website, store, or social media, and then you sell it. Now, when someone buys this pen, the order is sent to a supplier and fulfillment center. They package up the order and it gets sent to the customer. You tell the customer the item is bought and shipped. You profit whatever your markup for the item is. You are the middleman. That's my point. You never had to own this pen or store this pen to make money. You just had to get a customer to buy it. You're in the attention-grabbing business. Now, the dropshipping business might sound amazing to you, but it's not that different from other business models that are out there. You see, businesses carve out profit margins between customers and producers everywhere. The grocery store does not produce 90% of the products that they sell. Realtors take a cut between home buyers and home sellers. Agencies often outsource and take a cut on the work they're not even doing. The basics of dropshipping have been around for hundreds of years, but most people assume that dropshipping is a new thing. Let me give you an example. Mail order catalogs appeared 75 years ago, and they were considered to be the first dropshipping business model. It's basically Amazon, but book form and no prime shipping. These mail order catalogs have products in them. You fill out a form and receive the product in the mail. Now you do all of this stuff online. And here's the thing about dropshipping. You don't need any money to start, but you do need to spend money or time to stand out. You have to be different enough that people actually have a reason to buy from you over anyone else. Now, the same product that you're gonna try and sell, it's gonna be available somewhere else and likely for a lot cheaper. That can only lead to one thing, an all-out price war and a race to the bottom in terms of pricing. Hence, I don't personally like the dropshipping business model. There's better ways to make money. So throughout history, one business model has created more wealthy civilizations than any other. People who owned land and property have always been considered the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in society. From the Egyptians thousands of years ago to the United States of America, owning land has proven to be the single greatest business. But owning land, it's only part of getting wealthy. Knowing how to effectively make money from that land, that's the true secret. Now, let me give you a specific example. There's an individual named Marcus Crassus. He was part of the Roman Empire and is considered to be one of the wealthiest men to have ever lived. His wealth came from military contracting and real estate. He owned and operated silver mines and ran a genius real estate scheme. So house fires at the time, they were very common. So when a house was on fire, what would he do? He'd go to the owner of the house and offer to buy that house at an absolute peanut price point. Now, the owner would sell the property to Crassus, and Crassus would then bring in his own personal firefighters and put out the fire. He would then fix up the house and sell it for a big profit. Now, Rome at the time, it didn't have a public firefighting team, and people didn't want their houses to burn down, so nobody saw a problem in what Crassus was doing. Crassus was smart. He made everyone feel like a winner. And Crassus showed that owning real estate can produce real wealth fast. But you need money to buy real estate, and most people don't have enough money to even buy real estate. It seems impossible to gain that kind of money quickly, but that's exactly what I personally did, and here's how I did it. I used a new real estate strategy called Airbnb co-listing. Now, the way it works is that you make money off of other people's properties on Airbnb without having to buy any property in the first place, without having to rent any property, and here's the greatest part, without having to spend a single penny on any property. Now, I realize that sounds like hyperbole, fluff, and BS, but here's the thing, it's not. Just like how Marcus Crassus made money in real estate in ancient Rome by solving a pain point for landowners, we make money with Airbnb co-listing by solving a pain point for homeowners. Now, co-listing, it's a straightforward method. If you can literally push buttons on your phone or computer, those are the only skills you need to win with co-listing. Now, there's 3 different phases of co-listing, and you can literally start with $0. Now, before you can buy properties, you need to earn some money. And you're not going to turn into Marcus Crassus overnight. How can you make money in real estate without having any money and without owning or renting any real estate in the first place? You need to solve a pain point for a property owner. Whether we're talking about the real estate business or any business for that matter, as a service provider, you can only make money if you solve a pain point. Think about it like this. You're a doctor and you're in the business of providing painkillers to your patients. So here's the million-dollar question. What is the pain point that landlords are facing that you can get paid to solve? So there's 2 pain points that landlords are facing today. Number 1, properties, they're not getting rented. Go to Google and type in the following statement: property rental websites near me. Examples of this include Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Zillow. All you would do is screen for long-term rentals that have been sitting on the market for at least 20 days or longer. Now, those properties, they actually have a pain point. If a property has been sitting vacant for 20 days, that means that the landlord has been paying their mortgage, their property taxes, their maintenance expenses, their hydro expenses, and their insurance payments for the past 20 days, but they have no money coming in. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a pretty big pain point, right? The second pain point is that properties aren't selling. Go to Google and type in the following statement: properties for sale near me. Examples of this include realtor.com, redfin.com, and zillow.com. What you want to do on these websites is screen for properties that haven't sold for at least 90 days or they have an expired listing, meaning the property sat on the market for so long that the landlord pulled it off the market. Now, a great website for expired listings is propstream.com. Now, that's a much more technical website, but if you want me to make a video about PropStream and expired listings, let me know in the comments. There's a golden rule in real estate. If a property doesn't sell in 2 weeks, that means it's either mispriced or not marketed correctly. That's right, just 2 weeks. So if a property hasn't sold for 90 days, that's a really big pain point for both the realtor and for the landlord. That means that the landlord is stuck paying the mortgage, the property taxes, the insurance payments, and the maintenance expenses with no money coming in. That is a really big pain point. You either approach properties that have been listed for rent for a really long time, or you approach properties that have been listed for sale for a really long time, and you offer your management services as a solution. And we call that Airbnb co-listing, because you'll be listing the landlord's property on Airbnb to generate them quick cash. And the landlord can do this is the craziest part, while they wait for their property to sell. How much money do you make from doing this? 20 to 25%. That's your management fee. I don't want to make this video overly technical, but I have a separate in-depth video that shows you step by step how to find a co-listing deal and how to close deals with landlords. And in my opinion, co-listing is the best way to break into real estate because it requires no money. But this is just the first phase. Now, the second phase of co-listing is called rental arbitrage. Now, this is for people who actually have money and have experience in Airbnb. I do not recommend this for Airbnb newbies because you're likely to go broke and lose a lot of money if this is your starting point. Once you've saved up $20,000 to $30,000 from co-listing other people's properties, you're now ready for rental arbitrage. So rental arbitrage means that you rent a property from a landlord and you re-rent it on Airbnb. And you take the difference between the Airbnb revenue and the long-term rental rate. That's referred to as arbitrage profit. Now, where do you find arbitrage deals? The same place you find co-listing deals. Just go to Google and type in property rentals near me. Now let's move on to phase 3 of co-listing. That's buying properties. Once your vault gets bigger from managing listings and doing rental arbitrage, you're now ready for the big leagues. You're ready to buy a property and pay off the mortgage using Airbnb. And I'd only recommend this for somebody that saved up $30,000 to $50,000 from Airbnb co-listing or rental arbitrage, and they've actually got some experience with Airbnb. I would not recommend this for an absolute newbie. Now, when it comes to buying properties, my personal favorite website is Zillow.com. Once you buy a property for Airbnb, you will literally have gone from having no money and no properties to having a ton of money and owning property. How many business models are out there where you can literally start with $0 and end up owning real estate in the long run? And one of the things that I love about the Airbnb co-listing model is that the strategy is repeatable and scalable. You just keep repeating the same cycle over and over again as you bring in more and more money. It's just a game of rinsing and repeating. You'll continue to accumulate wealth quickly from this point on. You might be asking yourself, but Shaun, why Airbnb co-listing? Why not dropshipping, copywriting, full service marketing, Amazon FBA, crypto, Bitcoin, etc.? What about all the other business models out there? Airbnb co-listing is the only business model that I'm aware of where you can buy real estate and make money off of it from the business model itself. And ultimately, like we learned from my history lesson, the richest people on this planet are people that own real estate. If you're a copywriter, drop shipper, Amazon FBA company, or a full service marketer, is buying real estate a core component of your business model? The answer is no. Whereas with Airbnb co-listing, making money off of real estate and ultimately owning real estate is a core component of the business model itself. I want to get you guys into home ownership as soon as possible. And owning real estate is a primary reason why the most powerful empires and the most powerful people in history controlled the vast majority of real estate. There's more bonuses to owning real estate than you realize. It gives you cash, gives you a roof over your head. It allows you to tap into debt, operate a business out of the property, rent out the rooms. It has tax advantages as a place of business, and the list goes on and on. What other businesses have this much versatility? Nothing that beginners can get a piece of. That's why Airbnb co-listing is the best business for beginners, because it puts you on a fast track to financial freedom and property ownership. It's easy to dismiss the Airbnb co-listing opportunity we've gone over together, and that's your choice, but history, it doesn't lie. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever heard of a billionaire with no properties? Because I don't know a single one. Even Warren Buffett owns properties. My portfolio shows how I feed my family, how I support the people around me, and do whatever I want. But here's the problem. Most of you won't do it, and you'll keep watching videos on the internet and not take any action on this golden opportunity. If you're one of the people who decide they want to provide for their family and make a difference in their own life, I'm giving you all the material you need for free to get started through my YouTube channel. And I'm not saying this is gonna be easy, guys, because nothing in life that's worth doing is easy. But sending emails to the right people by copying and pasting a proven method, that's the closest thing to being easy that I'm aware of. So you now understand the way co-listing works, but there are details I couldn't fit into this video. Details that are important so you don't waste your time making beginner mistakes like I did in 2017. This video on the screen will save you dozens of hours for just a few minutes of your time. And I didn't have this when I started, so take advantage of it now and get ahead before others do.